12 had not passed it. They'd either refused to vote on it or whatever. But they, so it came down to Tennessee. The governor called a special session, and we had, it passed through the Senate fairly quickly. You know, we usually are more efficient in the Senate side. I mean, you know, but there's less of us to be efficient with, Roger, so, you know, that's okay. It got to the House side, and the Speaker of the House was not for it. And so he wanted to table the motion so it would be killed. Well, the tabling motion was a tie vote, so they called another vote, a tie vote again. So he figured, okay, we'll just vote on the bill, and if it's a tie vote again, it loses. You know, it doesn't pass. And so he called for the vote again. Well, there's the youngest state legislator named Harry T. Byrne from Nyota, Tennessee, and he had gotten a letter. His mother was a widow, and she ran the family farm, very educated, well-read, got all these newspapers and things and magazines. She had itinerant farmers that worked their farm that could vote, but she couldn't. And he had always felt that really wasn't fair, but she had written him a letter, and that he had that in his suit pocket, and it said, take care of the ladies, vote to give them the right to vote. And so he changed his vote. It passed by one vote, and this is, you know, this goes to show you that votes, you know, every vote counts, but it passed by one vote. He had to, they accused him of taking a $10,000 bribe. He had to move hotels, and he basically, the next day, you can write, if you want to put further explanation of one of your votes, you can add a written thing to the journal. And so he put into the journal this note. He said, I did it for morality, for my mother, and for the glory of the Republican Party. That's why he changed his vote. You don't ever hear about that, but it's pretty cool. And what was interesting though, everybody converged upon Tennessee, and if you were for it, you got a yellow rose, and that's why the Tennessee Blue Book is yellow this year in honor of suffrage. And if you were against it, you got a red rose. And so sometimes, you know, people change the votes, but we did a reenactment of it on August 18th, on the 100th anniversary. And if you haven't seen it, it's pretty cool. But they start out in 2020, and then when we go back to 1920 rather, they go to black and white. And so it's you know, and then at the end they say, okay, now we're going to go back to 2020. I got to, we have to. But we had about 10 professional actors, and then the rest of us played folks. So I was one of the House members from Knox County who voted for it. So anyway, but that was kind of a high point of this year.